Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you're coming back, I'm so glad to see you again. I think today I was talking about managers, and I think I just want to talk about working with your friends. Have you ever worked with your friends? How did that go for you? Have you ever been in a position where you had to be a supervisor of your friends? How did you handle those challenges? You know, when you work together, you're not always close friends with the people that you work with, but sometimes you build a close friendship. Sometimes your friends come to work where you're working. Sometimes you go to work where your friends are working. And that can be challenging in a busy day because our friends want us to help. We want our friends to help, and we want to help our friends and they want to help us, but that's really just not always possible. And sometimes that can create resentment, right? I have worked with some really good friends, but I'm going to be honest, I prefer not to work with my best friends or my family. And I'll tell you why. Because I think that you have a tendency to allow, or they have a tendency to allow, you to take more, or you feel like you're giving more, vice versa. And maybe you begin to resent that role. I don't like to work with my family and friends because maybe they don't have the same working style as me. We all have our own unique way of doing things when we're working, right? I do it one way, my friends do it one way, my family members do it one way. We all learn what works for us as a person. And the thing is, sometimes people will tell you you're doing it wrong, but it's working for you. It's getting you out on time. It's getting you through the tasks that you need to get through, and you're doing it your way. So that's something that I have always said as a sidebar when I'm training new nurses. Don't necessarily feel like you have to do it my way. You have to do it correctly. You have to do it by the guidelines, but you can do it the way that works for you. If you need to make a list of everything that you need to do and check it off through the day, if you need to make yourself a chart and highlight, I will tell you, I had my own little way of doing it, and my friends had their own little way of doing it. And the thing is, sometimes, you know, when you're working on a unit, sometimes you get slammed. Admissions start rolling in, and sometimes you get 2 or 3 admissions in one day, and that is not an exaggeration. That is a lot. It's a lot to do an admission in a facility, okay? They're coming in, and the only thing that's really in there for you is that patient's name and their address and their family members. Okay, that is what's in there. You're responsible for ordering their meds. Something that I always like to do ahead of time was know that my admission was coming in. Okay, I wanted to know they were coming in so that I could get their meds ordered ahead of time, because in a facility you need scripts from a doctor. You need scripts from a doctor to get controlled substances, and you need to get those orders in before the pharmacy comes out. There's like a cutoff time so that you can get it the same day. Now, when you're working in a facility, you have a convenience box, or they have automated systems and Pyxuses and other things like that that you can get into to pull a med to make it through a night or two if the meds don't come out that night. But I always like to look ahead and work ahead when I could. The problem is, I do not like to sit down and chart. I don't like to do it. And I would put it off until the end of my shift. My friends, some of them would be sitting down charting between things. And really that's a smart way to do it, but I just never did it that way. So I would be sitting there sometimes an hour after my shift. Now, I've gotten better about charting at the time and getting things done in a timely manner. But when I was younger and I was working on the floor, I did not like charting. And when I started in nursing, we did paper charting and narrative charting. And I was in nursing when we transitioned into electronic charts. And so that was a blessing and a curse, because as you know, technology can make some things easier, but what if your computer freezes? And that happens a lot. So when you're working with your friends, sometimes that can distract you. Sometimes you can have too much fun. You want to talk to your friends and visit sometimes when you should be working. I am bad about wanting to talk to people. I'm a talker. I'm chatty. So you can't sit by me if you need to get your charting done, because I'm going to talk to you. It's a bad habit. And my friends would maybe expect my help on something when maybe I was not able to give them that help. And then it would cause anger or resentment. Or maybe I had helped my friend and I wanted my friend to help me too. It causes a lot of stress when you're working with your friends because you want them to help you and they want you to help them. And that's just the way it is. Plus, sometimes it gets into a little bit of unfriendly competition. Sometimes your friend's like, I got done before you. Or sometimes you're like, hey, I got done. And you're sitting while they're busting their butt and they would like you to come and help them. But truthfully, when you're working on a team, anyone that sees anyone drowning should jump in and help them, right? If you see that somebody got 3 admissions, wouldn't it just be nice to jump in and help them? I guess you kind of all become friendly with each other. Either you like each other or you don't, but you become friendly to some extent, and you kind of have to work together. In a long-term care setting, there's maybe 3 or 4 units on one side, maybe 3 or 4 units on the other side, and there's a group of nurses and CNAs that are working one side of the building and another side of the building. Typically in a facility, there's wings. A skilled nursing facility, there's skilled wings, and there are your long-term care patients. So you have your Medicare skilled patients that are getting therapies and IVs and things like that, skillable needs, wound care. And then you have your long-term care patients that live there. That's their home. That's where they're going to stay. They're not leaving. And your skilled patients have, therapy coming to take them during the day. They have appointments that they're going to outside of the facility, families coming in to visit. It's really hectic during the day to try to get everything in that you need to get done, wound care and medications that are due. Sometimes the patient's not in the facility and you didn't get that medicine that you needed to get them done. Sometimes it's beneficial to have your friends work with you because they will jump in and help you out faster than a stranger. But ultimately, I just wondered how you feel. Have you ever worked with your friends? Did you ever go to somewhere to work with your friends? Did your friends ever come somewhere to work with you? Did they have the same work ethic as you? Did you have the same work ethic as them? Was it a negative thing that your friend worked with you, or was it the best thing ever that could have happened to you? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. So tell me about it. Let's talk about it. I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.